So intelligence has gained a much wider definition in this era, with it being artificial also. The neural network is busy bringing in the disruptions as we progress, and we keep learning again and again. We are talking about phygital enterprises, we are talking about human ingenuity, and we are talking about algorithmic precision. How does this all coexist and yet defines businesses as they take new names and new shapes? For this very interesting discussion, we have an exciting panel. If I may request the esteemed panelists to please start joining us on stage. I'll start with Lasha Tabidze, Global Chief Digital Operations Officer, VEON. And if I could request all present in the hall to please put their hands together for this lovely panel coming up. Very happy to see a very tech-oriented panel coming up on stage now, because Tech Co, as we call it, now defines everything that we do. Joining Lasha on stage is Nasir Akhtar, Chairman, Infotech Group. Thank you, Nasir Saab. We have Fahad Zahid, Interim Country Managing Director, SAP Pakistan and Bahrain. We have Mohammad Mohtasim Jangra Sahab, Director Business, Amina and USA TMC Private Limited. And Ayub Zakori, Chief Executive Officer, Zakori Group. The session will be moderated by Mujib Zahoor, Managing Director, S&P Global Pakistan. So a lot of data, a lot of tech, and a lot of intelligence being redefined. Over to you, Mujib.
I think now we have the mics working. If everybody can settle down, we'll get started. Thank you to my fellow panel members for joining this afternoon. We're going to spend the next 60 minutes talking about what are some key trends around digital facing different businesses. As was mentioned in the introduction, we have a lot of different segments from technology represented on the panel today. So looking forward to some exciting perspectives coming from each of the areas. We're also going to keep it interesting and ask for audience questions during the panel. So if you're listening to us and you have a question around these themes, please prepare it, and we'll come to you after the first round and get some questions in. I'll just go down, starting from Fahad, from you, and just drive right in to, so when we talk about the various aspects around digital, how in your business are some opportunities coming up in this theme and in this area that you're looking at from the next 24 to 36 months perspective?
So I think, the latest new trends that we are seeing in the world of technology is artificial intelligence, what we are hearing throughout the day. And then there is robotic process automation, and then there is data platform. So as SAP and the market, the way we see it, we don't just see that as a new trend, but this is actually the continuous trend that we have been following from a decade, which in summary is very clear that the ideal enterprise that we want should be an intelligent and a sustainable enterprise. Just to define what is an intelligent enterprise, so there are basically three aspects. So one is that every decision that leaders are making should be data-driven. The second is majority of the processes within the organization should be automated. And last but not the least is the organization should be sustainable. The way we have divided our strategy, basically this is based on the 4 core principles, keeping in mind the next decade that we are seeing. So what we have started doing is that all the products that we used to have and we are embedding AI in those solutions. Rather than customer taking another separate strategy for AI, we are giving the customers the embedded AI within the solutions. And you will be glad to know that we have customers in Pakistan who are using AI for demand forecasting, for working capital optimization. I was having a discussion with some colleagues out there. There are many interviews. The first interview or a recruiter interview that is happening right now, it is actually being done with AI.
Yeah.
And you will be surprised to know that it is very hard to predict whether there is an actual person there or not. The second pillar of our strategy is that we have a lot of data. So we have structured data coming from the ERP and the business solutions that all of us have been using. However, there is a lot of raw data that is coming. For example, data coming from the social media platforms, the data coming from the retail solutions. Now, now the main thing that every customer wants is to actually combine the business data with the raw data. And that is what we are working with the customers, where a single platform will be able to hold the business data and the raw data in order to define the actual market analysis that everything that is the requirement coming from the every customer. The third is, I think even the company like SAP has realized that it is not possible for any company to cater all the industry requirements or all the country requirements. And that's why we are coming up with a co-innovation program where we are working with the local partners and the local customers to actually come work with us and develop solutions with us. This will actually help us to cater the majority of the processes that are required in a specific market or a specific industry, but at the same point of time, it can be a good source of revenue for our partners and our customers to actually go out there. Last but not the least, all of this we have discussed now is happening is that we must have started hearing the news a decade ago or 5 years ago that everything is going on cloud. And I believe the reason why we are here discussing AI and all this business analytics is because there was a movement to cloud. So majority of the customers are moving to cloud. There was a question from the panel related to the cyber security. I believe 2-3 years back, Pakistan might not was in the map where cyber security attacks were happening, but this is becoming a reality. So the security of the border is very important, but at the same point of time, the security of your internal systems are very important, and that is why the customers are moving to cloud with us. In summary, our strategy is based on 3 points, which is AI, data, and cloud, combined together to make our customers an intelligent and sustainable enterprise.
Lovely. Thank you, Fahad. I think very interesting point around collaborating with customers and what traditionally is perceived perhaps as competition also. We'll come back to that maybe in the next round. Nasir Saab, over to you. Infotech, how do you see digital technologies and these new trends shaping your business over the next couple of years?
Yeah, we were discussing when I was sitting in the audience, the amount of opportunities. I'm talking about technology, $5.5 trillion annual market size, and technology outpaced oil and gas sector about 3 years ago. So that still is hovering around less than $5 trillion. So looking at the opportunity size, I find myself like a blind dog in a meat house, what to pick up and what to not. And it's all about the capacity and how sharply you define your target markets, how intelligently you reach out to your customer and position. It's all about that. I mean, you being an American company, you know how it works. So I'll give you my example. Ever since we started applying research, data, intelligence, which now is broadly known as AI, but these things have been there for ages, and we have been. So it took us about 15 years to capture 5 markets for our Star Products, which is a trading platform, and we are head on with the likes of Nasdaq and London Stock Exchange. We are beating them right, left, and center, and to some extent TCS, Tata Consulting also. So we were struggling for about 10, 15 years. We could only capture about 5 markets in 15 years. But the moment we sat down, we said, I mean, the whole world is applying data intelligence in positioning, finding channels to reach out. So here we go. In the last 5 years, we captured another 15 markets. So that is the power of data and intelligence. That is the new currency, and that is the new norms. And it does not apply just on our businesses, but overall on societies and countries and economies. I mean, there is a new word which sums up everything. Technology is the operating system for modern economies. That's it. That says it all. Yep. I think nothing left. I mean, if now we at a policy level or at execution level in private sector or in public sector, if we ignore this thing, that is up to us. But the reality is that it's going to be there, and currencies are going to be digital, and technology is going to be the operating system for economies.
Fantastic. Thank you. I think we'll come back a little bit and get more specifics on how Infotech has been able to penetrate global markets. What were some of those underlying principles? Because I think, to your point, they apply across industries. A lot of time we hear this notion, especially in Pakistan, that the opportunity is less, or we don't have avenues to grow, etc. Your story, as well as I think pretty much everybody that you see sitting up front, has a very different view or experience from their businesses. So would love to get more detail into that. Mustasim, over to you. If you can share a little bit about at TMC how things are progressing, and what are some trends that are going to shape your future strategies?
Thank you so much. So TMC is born and brought up as an ERP company. So technology has always been the bedrock of what we do. Over the years, we have acquired hundreds and thousands of customers, and with the trends that are changing, we feel that we can actually use all that body of knowledge to do transformative work for the industry that we work with already. There's a very important aspect of unlearning and learning all over again, because if our people and us, we hold on to the previous knowledge which we had very tightly, I mean, we can't just keep pace with the change that is happening. So that's why what we have been doing is we have identified a pool of people from the existing team and complemented them with some fresh blood from the market who are not changed to the older ways of doing work. And that combination helps us create the right team to do the innovation around what we do already. Remember, ERP is all about processes, right? And all this AI, the application is in the process itself. So if you don't unlock the process with the newer technology, I mean, what will you do with all the technology out there? I mean, you have all the compute, all those machine learning models, but if there's no problem to solve, then there's no impact. And that's what we are trying to do. We are trying to create that high performance team within our setup, which is not bounded by the old mindset, and they are open to innovate. And we are thankful to all our customers out there who are working with us. So the co-innovation that Fahad said, that's actually happening. And it's thanks to all the customers in Pakistan who are at the forefront of that, who are trying to co-innovate with us, trying to solve daily problems that they face, and try to see, if they can solve using the technology out there, right? And it's combination of everything. I mean, it could be IoTs, it could be AI, it could be machine learning models, it could be several other things, right? I mean, I can throw many jargons, but that's
Yeah.
not the purpose, right? Also, there's very important aspect is people and change. There's fear when it comes to technology adoption, and it's always been there, right? There's a lot of fear around AI that people face, and then that's why they hold back. And I'm talking about the customers, the people who will be impacted in a positive way. But if they're not educated well, if they are not informed well, if they are not evangelized, they will eventually become the wall that stops that innovation. So we also are trying to establish that management consulting division, which is focusing on change around the technology itself. And I feel that technology cannot be just you pick a system, you apply in any organization. It has to be much more ingrained. There has to be much more handshake with the business, with the new technology, because there's no set pattern in these new technologies. You have to solve problem in a bespoke fashion, right? And that's why that handshake has to happen. That's why the change and those change agents and those change processes have a very key place in the whole setup and the rollout of technology.
Yeah. No, very interesting. I think you brought in a very good perspective around how on the outsides of technology, these behaviors and skills are equally important, because if you don't prepare your teams and your businesses as well as your strategy for customer engagement appropriately, then no matter how good of a tool or technology you have, whether it's AI enabled, whether it is whatever is going to come next after AI enabled, it's not going to do any good. We'll peel that a little bit more maybe in the next round. I want to move to Ayub and bring in a slightly different perspective. I think so far what you've heard is a lot more global use case being applied locally. You will, I think, bring in a different perspective, but would love to hear your thoughts on how in your area some of these trends, whether it's Gen AI or other, some of these new digital trends are shaping your business strategy over the next few years.
Am I audible?
Yep,
Yeah.
good now.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Mujib, thank you for the question, and I will actually like to go a bit thoda sa piche, if you allow, with your permission. So the audience can actually understand what how technology is very close to me, and I'm glad my wife is not here, because what I'm about to say, she might kill me. I'm in love with the technology. Because today, if I'm here sitting in front of you, talking to you guys, technology is something that has given me that freedom. So my background is I'm a third generation entrepreneur. My father was an industrialist, my grandfather was an industrialist, but I myself, alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, I'm a self-made entrepreneur. And I started from the very scratch, from the very beginning, from the very rock bottom. And they say that once you actually built everything brick by your hands, by yourself, so you're actually very possessive about, sorry, I will actually correct myself, protective about it. Possessive would not be the right word. So I'm very protective about my business. So growing to this point, being the largest conglomerate from KP, and since we are at the tail end of the country, so we have a very unique set of challenges, which are not compared to the rest of the country, specifically KLI, when we speak about the rest of the country. So there was a point, Mujib, when I used to work from 6 in the morning till 9 in the evening. I never had an opportunity to spend time with my kids and everything. And I was focused that, okay, fine, I have to deal with everything myself. I have to go into the rock bottom. Har ek cheez ko khud dekhna hai. Then there came a point, and conferences like these, meeting people, it kind of gave me we are in Peshawar. To Peshawar, you have been to Peshawar. It has grown over the past decade, I would actually say. It's not something just hame itna zyada exposure, I would actually say. So the exposure that we got is over the last 1 decade. So we were very protective. We were actually grown up in a society, in a family, where we were told, okay, fine, you're not supposed to share your information. that will be stolen away from you, stolen away from you. So going forward, I started to think, if I really want to grow and if I want to build a legacy, it has to be something, okay, fine, when I die, I don't want my business to die. It has to stay there for my kids, for the 3,000 people, for the 3,000 family members that I have now that are working for Zakodi Group, alhamdulillah. So I went for SAP. SAP is one of the, यहाँ पे भी मैं देख रहा हूँ, basically it's here. So trust me, when we converted to that, and the transformation was a hell of a journey, there was a lot of resistance. Then I always say it's not only about technology, it's about embedding people with it. Convincing everyone कि जी आप लोगों ने इस technology को use भी करना है, and this is for the betterment of you. It is for the betterment of the company, it is for the betterment of the group. So going forward, like I said, it gave me the freedom to come here, sit with you, because of the palm of my laptop or like in my iPad, I can actually easily do that. Now, going forward, what we are actually looking forward to, since we were talking about artificial intelligence, and I told you that we are a conglomerate, so we are different businesses all over the country, and alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, next year we're going international as well. So, one of our core businesses is in the food industry. And in the food industry, we are the fastest growing brand in Pakistan with the name of Ranchers. So we have a huge challenge of making sure that the resources that we have, they're actually performing to the best of their ability. They are actually doing what they're told to do, what they're trained to do in a timely manner. So humanly, it's not possible to be like we have like more than 24 units across the country right now. So for me, or even for like for anyone in this room, it's not possible. We can install screens and cameras everywhere, and we are going to like monitor them, every move of them. Right. So what we have done, there was a startup. It's in Peshawar-based startup. It's from NIC, and we have actually started working with them. And what they're doing for us is they're developing an app for us, which is going to we're going to give them the KPIs of the staff. Let's suppose we have the front-end staff, then we have the kitchen, back-end staff. So the KPIs, that if there is a waiter, how many orders is he serving, how many, how much time did he deliver, the kitchen staff, how long did it take them to make to assemble a burger or pizza or something like that. So with that, we'll be able to determine the productivity of that unit as well, of that person as well. So there is a lot that we're actually doing right now. If I start talking about that, because this is just one domain, but technology has changed our life.
Yeah. No, I think yours is a very interesting and relevant experience, because you talked about it already, how you took something which was very traditional, something that had perhaps at one point not a lot to do with technology, and now you're embedding some of these newer insights into your various businesses. So thank you for sharing that. Lasha, coming to you, your title is the one most relevant for this panel. You head up digital operations for Vion. So I think perhaps a pertinent question more for you. So when you look at, from your vantage point, what are some trends that you see, not just for your organization, but generally in this space that everybody here in the audience and even us should be aware of?
Thanks a lot. And first of all, I think starting from today morning, it's very good discussions, and it was kind of a logical continuation that we should sit and speak about the tech, what's happening. Because look, like what I heard now, and one of the most important things is that AI and agentic AI, it's not about just helping the applications or digital. It's a fact that next tech will be created by Gen AI and will be created by AI. And going forward, like we see lots of robotics happening around the world, lots of different kind of tech getting into the industry. But the most important is how we create intelligence and data for this next generation of tech. For us, and here I'm not speaking just about Pakistan, because I'm definitely very proud what we as Jazz do here in the country. But outside Pakistan footprint, we tapped into the industries like healthcare, like ride-hailing, e-commerce, many others. And as you've asked, my answer is, so I already see that 40, up to 50% of the whole code is already done by AI. And that gives me like all this sense to say that in my perspective, how I see all over the world things happening, that tech will be created by tech in the future. That's very important. Another thing, what we as Vion and myself personally, we always say, drive and stay behind, is that if we reimagine the tech, if we reimagine how the technology goes forward, we have to still at least try to have human in the center. It's very, very important. Because when the intelligence and tech touches the lives and livelihoods, and not just balance sheet of the company, and I can give you lots of examples, and lots of examples were here, to be more efficient, to have lower costs, to be faster. But when it touches the real lives and livelihoods and really changes for the good, then you are really making digital transformation. And at that point, when this is very clear for the companies, this is very clear for the country, you start to think differently about how to use this tech. Of course, shame on us, everyone in any industry. I won't now close myself for telecom or for fintech or anything else. Shame on us if we don't use the AI. Some time ago, like when someone was asking me, like when you started to use AI in Vion, we were using AI in network optimization 12, 13 years ago. But it was different type of AI. This was machine learning, like what we were using. But now we're speaking about agents speaking in Urdu or any other language, helping a teacher to be the best teacher somewhere in the village in Pakistan, to have the best knowledge. That's what we are speaking about. So overall, of course, like echoing my co-panelists here, what I can say is that tech is not just changing, tech will be creating the next tech. So we have to make sure that our human centricity and ethical relation to the tech stays at the core. Yeah. That would be my reflection on the question.
Fantastic. No, I'm really glad. I was listening to the last couple of panels. There was a conversation around Gen AI, but I think agentic hasn't come up in the day so far. I missed the earlier part of the day, so I'm not sure. That's something as a data and technology company, I couldn't agree more with you. That use case is where a lot of enhancement, efficiency, and impact is getting created in our space as well. And I think the other point that you made is absolutely spot on. Only when technology, any technology throughout history, and in this day and age, AI, when it starts impacting humans and their experiences, elevating them, making their lives better, whether it's in their work, whether it's in their education, whether it is, whether it's in healthcare, I think that is when you sort of start seeing its true impact. We're going to come to the audience for the next round of questions, but just some interesting data points for everybody. Shameless plug, we at S&P Global, we have this division that's called 451 Research that does a lot of tech data collection and research. So this year, emerging technologies have already received more investment in the 3 quarters than what was in 2021. 2021, post-pandemic, was considered to be sort of one of the best years in terms of investments that went into emerging businesses. It was about $142 billion in 2021, entire year. This year already, in 3 quarters, $138 billion has been invested in emerging businesses. Anybody wants to take a guess what percentage were Gen AI or AI-enabled businesses of this $138 billion that got investments? Anyone in the room? Sorry? 50, you said? 80? You're almost there. 75%. 75% of the businesses that got funding out of this, what is looking to be an absolutely record-setting year, had a Gen AI use case, and it was in all of those sectors. Gen AI enabling health tech, Gen AI enabling gov tech. These are all things that impact experiences. A small example I will share, at S&P Global, we just partnered with this company called Eightfold.ai. It's an organization that designs a talent marketplace for your company. So it will basically map the skills and performance reviews, etc., that you have of your people in an organization. Will look at the data of what you have in your check-ins and will suggest pathways and training curriculums and jobs that those people can do. An amazing use case that we found fascinating, something that we can give for our colleagues. So with that, before I proceed with my second round of questions for the panelists, anybody in the room that has a question for any of the panelists?
What will be the future of data centers in Pakistan? How you define that?
Sorry,
Data centers.
Data centers in Pakistan. All right. Anybody? Fahad and Mustasim and Lasha, if you want to, Lasha, you want to start, then we'll come to Fahad.
Yes, I can
Mustasim,
start because this is a great question. Because like computing and computing power is just one part of this, and definitely it's not a question; it's a matter of time, and as fast as possible. My personal opinion and what we're doing is that we have to create many on-prem data centers in the country. Of course, time over time, some hyperscalers will pop up here as well, like AWS or many others. But we have to have the physical on-premise data centers, next level data centers with AI computing capability in the country. That's where Vion is looking into, that's where Jazz is going into with Garage and many, many more to come. This is a very good question because when you have the data on-prem, then we can speak literally about specific resilient and secure data, which will be used to develop the local products. Because there is always an option, yeah? We can import something to any country, not only in Pakistan, anywhere in the world. You import the technology, you use the public cloud, and you just build it out for every company. In this case, you do all the effective and efficient things you can, but you don't innovate. Another thing is when you build something with your hands, that's where great question and my answer. We have to make the data centers. All of us. It's not just specifically one business does the data center and the other one not. As I mentioned today morning, so we used to be 5-6 years ago just a telecom. And now I speak about ride-hailing and many other businesses. So data centers, which data, how it will be labeled, how it will be trained, which products will be created locally by local people in this data center in a secure environment. And I'm pretty sure with the talents you have here in Pakistan, like it will be kind of a global scale tech, not just something created for the local usage, but a precedent for many, many other verticals there. And last but not the least, how we use this data to make every person in this country to become more skillful, to have more skills, and to develop their ideas and bring back to this digital community of the country. So I think data centers are the muscles. Then we have to speak about how we treat the data, how we collect it as much as data as possible. And last but not the least, the most important, why are we doing this? Do we want to scale up the communities? Do we want to scale up the whole country? That's fine. That's the great purpose, that we don't leave anyone behind. And this country becomes prosperous and every of its citizen is a part of this bright future.
So,
Fahad, you want to go and
question.
then Mustasim, you want to chip in on this as well? You can go after Fahad.
Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty much detailed answer already, but I will just take it from the business applications and OEM side. See, the thing is that majority of the top OEMs that we see globally are actually already saying that we are a cloud company, not an on-prem company anymore. Removing my SAP hat, I would definitely say that the target as a country and as a Pakistani should be that we should be bringing at least one of the top hyperscalers globally, from Azure to Google to Microsoft to Pakistan. The good news is, what I can tell you is that that is something which is being discussed. But a very clear part that we need to give to show to these companies is stability and some sort of a commitment of the revenue so that they can make an investment. So once the data center is there, as mentioned, there will be a lot of opportunities out there. We will have our own data center and border rules that we can apply to those companies as well.
The short answer is yes. In fact, now is the time that is prime to invest in the data center business. But you can't live in the past. You have to have the data center offer these modern services that we all spoke about just now, right? So you can't just host servers. That's not gonna be it. Data centers must enable technology innovation. They must enable all these new techs and localize them so that that's where these needs will uncover. So if you talk about data centers in the old age, it was just servers running on compute and that's it, right? Now these data centers are service providers. They are providing service for innovation, service for development, service for all the new tech out there, right? And we spoke about AI, we never spoke about blockchain. All these technologies cannot be hosted on those traditional servers that every other company has today. The only way possible is to have a central area where all that compute can be placed and can be efficiently utilized by the masses, and that's what Pakistan needs right now. And in fact, that is what a lot of other players are doing in order to unlock that innovation potential that we have today.
Awesome, thank you. Other questions? I see a hand raised over there. We'll take one more.
Hello, my name is Shoaib Shamsi, and my question is with the whole panel. I was listening to a blog, a podcast recently, a professor, and he was saying that in very near future, in few years, the whole humanity is going to develop this inferiority complex, because all throughout history there was one person or one group of persons who got together in a lab or in their garage or in home or office somewhere, and they had the belief and the confidence that I can do something different. I can create, something that will solve a problem or change humanity. But he said that very soon we have created this super brain, superhuman, that we've been talking about, AI, and that AI is going to give the whole humanity a sense of inferiority, and the belief is going to go that I am capable of creating something new. Is that true? And if yes, what is the future of our young generations, especially when it comes to creating, whether it's technology or anything? Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. I think the philosophical angle of Gen AI and agents, we've also, I think, in our growing up, at least in my age bracket, we are influenced somewhat by Terminator and Hollywood as well. But I'll ask my esteemed panel members for a more eloquent answer to this, please. Lasha, go ahead.
Thanks a lot. It's a very good philosophical question, and I agree with you. Like, lots of us grew up with Terminator and this kind of stuff. But look, the reality is, first of all, even in theoretical matters, AGI is far away, artificial general intelligence. So that's a fact. This is one. Secondly, I personally, with my full respect, I totally disagree that with AI we'll lose power of innovation. It's 100%. Vice versa. Like the idea which we could test or even brainstorm with AI agents, which we have, we can create more ideas. We can test them faster, and we can build the models on top of these ideas. And by this, I don't mean just coding. Anything, architecture, anything, music, whatever you need. So it's a great agent, co-pilot, helping us to be faster in our creation. And of course, once again, what I'm saying that we have to be at the center of this, and as an industry also think about humanity in the center, because humans will be the center of creativity in any industry.
Yep.
Just we will be empowered, we will be having superpowers like good guys in Terminator to think about many, many different solutions, and what's most importantly, really to be fast in execution.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. I think this concept of doomsday conspiracies around AI taking over and the machines are here, I respect the view, but
Look,
in my view, it's a bunch of BS.
Just one comment to add, yeah, like to everyone, yeah. I think every human makes error. Like we all make errors. So at the end of the day, like hopefully it will never happen. But whether doomsday will happen with the error of a human or with the error of AI, like
yeah. No, but I think on a serious note, it is as you've heard, pretty much a central theme from all the panel members. The key here is ensuring that we are upskilling not only our skill set, but also our mindset as we approach a lot of these new technologies. They're meant to enable us. We're the ones that created them. They are meant for our help and helping us become more efficient. As Lasha very rightly said, use cases are not just in the tech industry only. The use cases are there in every space, and that's where the real advantage will come. Any other opinions on this question? If there's I saw a question here somewhere. Yes, sir. We'll take one more from you.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Thank you for a wonderful discussion so far. It's a very pertinent discussion, but also when you talk about investing in data center as a business, that's of course, the whole world is going towards that. But when you look at it from a Pakistani context and what we're doing, local businesses over here, everybody's talking about AI, upskilling, processing data at a much faster speed. But as a local business owner, if you want to invest, this is the decision I have to make next week for my company. Do I go on the cloud with all the data that I have, or do I actually build a new on-prem data center inside my company? For looking at this is an investment you make like once every 5 years or 10 years, and looking at the future. But the challenges I have are cost. Nobody talks about the business of doing business in Pakistan and paying in US dollars for AWS or Microsoft Azure, which we don't have right now here, or going towards the local data. And also there's the legal challenge as well. The PDPA is being discussed since 2018-19, which has not been finalized. The uncertainty around that if we do go on international cloud platforms, then the law comes in and actually basically restricts you from putting data out there, which is personally identifiable. Then where do we go? Because we have a lot of uncertainty around those laws. Number one, cost is an issue. And what do local businesses do? Data centers as a business is a different thing. But when we talk about existing businesses doing digital transformation, that's where the challenge lies. And I would love to hear what you guys are thinking about that.
I think we have several panel members who do that as their day job, and would love to chip in.
I thought I'd get some free advice while I'm here. So
No, absolutely. And you might get a pitch and a quotation as well afterwards. Who would like to go first? Fahad, you want to go first? And Nasir Saab, you, and then Mohsin. Good? You good? Or you want to?
So I think this is a question, as mentioned, this is the question that is asked on daily basis, especially from the local customers. So I will keep it short. See, whenever you are deciding that whether you have to take your data on the cloud or on-prem, it actually depends what application you are using. Fortunately, unfortunately, there are many applications that are only available on cloud. I mean, if as SAP, the customer comes to me and asks me, I need an on-prem solution. I mean, to answer to that question is, if you are going to buy a Honda Civic and you are asking me to give manual car, it's no more available. But having said this, I think that is something which we need to make a ROI of the complete IT solutions that you have. And typically we have seen that hybrid landscape is something which makes a lot of sense for the customers in Pakistan paying in USD and having some sort of an investment with their heavy data being on-prem and the applications that they want to use for business to be on cloud as well. At the same point of time, I think majority of the principal companies that are working in Pakistan are getting pretty much specifically discounted rate for Pakistan, knowing our macroeconomic challenges as well.
डिस्काउंट ऑफर भी मिल गई आपको साथ ही जबरदस्त नसीर साहब प्लीज
I think the question got mixed up. What I assumed the gentleman asked that what is the scope of data center in Pakistan. So I would assume that data center is going beyond a standalone business. It's becoming an economy globally. As you see, in 10, 15 years ago, we used to size a data center 100 racks, 200 racks. Now they don't talk about racks.
That's kilowatts, yeah.
That's gigawatts.
Yeah, yeah.
10 gigawatts, 50 gigawatts. So essentially, that data center economy is actually gearing up to cater for the compute need, which is going to actually create these AI offshoots and other things. And in terms of investment, picking up on your thing, and I was just last week a research report was released. Last year, the revenue from AI services globally stood around $22 billion revenue. Investment last year into AI was to the tune of $330 billion. So, I mean, where is the business case? So, which means that it's real. The world is after that, and it's going to definitely be monetized. When, how, I mean, who does it very smartly, but the investment is going out, and it's not a dumb investment.
Yeah.
It's not a bhed chal type of investment. It is real investment, and one of the top brains are investing in that, BlackRocks and you name it,
right.
Everyone. So the prediction for this year is going to be that the revenue from AI services may touch around $100 billion, but the investment would be to the tune of $1 trillion. And a major portion out of that is that the data center, which are going to actually house, I mean, your GPUs or compute power and whatnot. So here we are still discussing on-prem or cloud. So that is irrelevant actually. I mean, it's up to everyone you want to have your. I remember 30 years ago that Sates in Faisalabad used to have a server at home. Every Sate would have a server at home. I don't know whether it was a 2 books kind of thing or a disaster recovery site or whatever, but it was there. So that will continue. It's your choice. You need to calculate your ROI. If you feel that you're running your own data center is feasible for you, fine, okay, no problem. And otherwise, the cloud is always there.
Quick comment, Lasha, then Ayub, and then Mohsin, you. I'll also come to you for your next question.
Thank you very much. Very quick one, because this is a very good question. And if I understand correctly, so my answer will be very straightforward. So for the small businesses or medium businesses, first, you need to have a cost in your local currency in which you earn. This is one. Secondly, if you go with the local developed data center and products, we can create, and you can have like HR agent, you can have financial agent, analytics tools, and whatever, which will make you more efficient. So that's the difference, because when you go, of course, there are super solutions on Microsoft Azure or anything else, but one is to buy it to pay for it, another one is to implement it in the use cases you need. So I personally believe that the solution of the local data centers, and by that I don't mean that everything has to be localized, the layer which will be securely localized on-prem, and then of course on public cloud used. That's an opportunity for medium businesses. That's how you get the product you need and be faster. And especially in the currency, you need to have it. That would be my answer to you. Ayub, go ahead. I'll come back.
I'll actually address two questions simultaneously because you actually asked about the future of the data centers and you asked about the cost as well. So our group is actually looking into this project, and there's a very famous saying by Churchill that the best time to make money is when there's blood on the streets. So one, yes, there is a huge need of data centers in Pakistan. The best place to set up a data center is KP because over there, the major cost is the electricity that you have to like put into that. So over there, we are in negotiations with the government for setting up hydel powers. So over there, from the hydel power, we can actually generate quite a lot of electricity and we can do that. But the challenge that we have right now is about the confidentiality in Pakistan because the government does not, the FIA departments or the army or for that sake, like all those other departments, they don't allow us to have the secrecy agreements because if I actually am the custodian of your data, so I have to ensure that your data is not actually leaked out or like it's not actually handed over to any authority or whatever it is. There has to be a proper like system for that. So right now, that is the biggest challenge that we are actually facing in Pakistan because that is not addressed. These are my 2 cents.
Thank you, Ayub. Thank you, Lasha. Mustashim, you can answer this question as well, but I want to bring to you something that I know you're passionate about. From a competency standpoint, it was referenced earlier in the first answer as well, but if you can expand a little bit on that how are you seeing some competencies evolving as these new technologies come in when we look to go and engage talent or hire talent for our businesses. So please go ahead.
Thank you. So I'm just going to answer in one sentence. What business are you in? You have to answer that in order to conclude if cloud or hosting your infrastructure on any cloud, be it local or international, that is going to give you that answer. And having spent time on both sides of the table, being a service provider and a customer both, I know that is the question which led us as the customer back in the day towards the cloud journey. You need to focus on what you do, not managing those hardwares and bits and pieces or cables. You need to focus on that business, and that business focus will always come if you offload all that overhead to a cloud provider who are best at doing their jobs. So that's my answer to you. Competency is it's very important. We historically have gone through an academic journey where we taught technologies, we taught the ABCs, the mathematics, on all of that, right? But when we talk about the newer generation, the newer tech, the skill of the future is not just AI. It's not just blockchain. It's not just all those fancy jargons out there. The skill of the future is creativity. The skill of the future is critical thinking. The skill of the future is everything combined with that. That is going to keep you different from all those ABCs that you have learned historically, that you do right now as well. You need to focus, and that's what we evangelize, and then we work with the academia as well. And I truly believe that this needs to be done at a larger scale, that industry-academia relationship needs to take on the next level now, especially given all the emerging tech. And academia needs to table these competencies right from the onset, right from day one. So that's my thought on the competencies.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, creativity, problem solving are deeper skills. You can learn the hard skills around technology a lot easier, perhaps, but mindset shaping, again, on how you look at a problem is important. We got handed up a question as a follow-up to the data.
That's from here.
G, we will come to you. Just give us one follow-up on the earlier question. We'll come to you right after this. Okay? There's a follow-up on the data centers question that both Fahad and Nasir Saab would like to take. And the follow-up for everybody's benefit is, can some of the IPPs projects that have been closed be used as data centers? So I think this was a news item recently as well. So very pertinent.
Yeah, before indulging into that discussion and try to bring out some sense out of it, we need to understand what happens in a data center. Essentially, it's a piece of, uh, it's a shell building. The largest component in production of whatever is being produced in data center, that we will come later, is power. So if you have abundant, economical, clean, consistent power, so you are in gain. Now, the second big question is that what are you going to produce in those data centers? How you are going to populate those data center? Where would you get GPUs and CPUs? Who will invest on that? That's the real investment. I mean, $250,000 a piece, and that is also being is made available as a premium kind of thing. I mean, the NVIDIA and all those productions are sold out for next 10 years. And there are political maneuvering happening to have access to GPUs if you are into AI game. So where would you get that investment? Okay, you got idle power, you can make a fancy building, then what would you do with it? Even if you get compute power, if you get $500 million worth of processors, okay, who you are going to sell it to? Our own capacity is so, tiny. The total country spending on software and services is less than $500 million.
Right.
That doesn't
justify
sense.
the spend on that.
Exactly.
All right, I'm being handed looks and notes on the timing, so we'll take one more question since the lady had raised her hand. Yes, please.
So I would like to just raise one question. Basically, there is a lot of technology that is coming our way. And as you have mentioned earlier, that implementing all those technologies will unlock a lot of problems our way. Because what we see, that technology is getting changed at a very rapid pace. And those technologies, obviously, while being delivered through the institutions, are we bringing on board all the stakeholders, including the customers, infrastructure, employees, and everything? Because that, what we actually see in the real scenario, that whenever you try to implement a solution, still we have so many apps on the internet that used to ask like whether you are going for regular download or gold download. So the limited capacity of the data centers, the limited capacity of the infrastructure, that is what actually restricting the access of regular people. And if we are having in the organization the AI-based systems implemented, that used to make the servers down. So how actually it should be properly delivered and properly worked out in the society? That's what my question is. Don't we have to devise such kind of policies through governmental portals? So that's the actual core objective should be achieved. Thanks. That's from my side.
So it's sort of a suggestion, I guess, not a question. Is there a question in there? Because we are struggling to identify a question.
The data centers or technological companies, are they doing their research and are they actually considering all the stakeholders on board while making products, while delivering the applications and all those things?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if somebody
Because
wants, I can give a 10-second answer. I think
limitation.
all operators, large hyperscalers, they have uptimes and they have app performance numbers and sort of, so they have pretty stringent KPIs to monitor performance
Exactly.
that do onboard everybody. We're being flash times up. So, if I try to sneak in another question, it'll be problematic. I will learn from the best, the moderator from the last session, Usman, and I'll do a lightning round. trends from a digital future perspective, one thing that most excites you. We'll start with Lasha and work our way down here.
Only one thing, like opportunity.
Okay, lovely. Ayub?
That's a difficult one, to be very honest. There are so many things, but I can't.
थोड़ा सा out of course हो गया ये हमने पहले इस बारे में बात नहीं की
थी.
So apologies for that, but I thought I'll put you on the spot a little bit. Anybody else wants to chime in?
I would actually like say the same. Like it's the opportunity, like the bigger picture.
Okay.
The future.
Our youngsters.
Yeah, Lasha said right. I mean, if you recall, in the beginning, I mentioned about opportunity.
Yep.
So it excites me because there is so much to do there. It's up to you how smartly you capture it.
Couldn't agree more.
So-
Anything else?
So just being on it, this is just a start. We are entering into a new digital era. Yeah.
No, I think you talk to tech companies across Pakistan, across various spaces, more often than not, all you hear about are, I have more work than I can handle and I can't find enough people. Both fantastic problems to have, and yes, we should do something about them, but I think they represent the future that we've heard in other panels as well, but the real opportunity of our future that we all can collectively gain from. With that, thank you very much to all my panel members. Yes, sir.
Just one thing. Thank you very much for great moderation.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Back to the summit moderator.
Thank you. What a tech-oriented but fascinating conversation. And to know that data is now driving everything that we do, everything that we say. And of course, analytics will add the profound element to our usage of data. Thank you so much, Mujib, for moderating this wonderful discussion. I would request Meronisa Azhar, our COO Pakistan, to join us on stage here, and Subhan Ilahi, our Chief Creative Officer, to please come and join us here on stage. I will also request Omar Ehsan Khan Sahab, Chief Executive Officer Dollans, to do the honors of giving away the mementos to our esteemed panel here. Absolutely fascinating conversation. We have, if I could request Lasha Tabidze, Global Chief Digital Operations Officer. Are we on? Claps, please. This is a very small thank you for these wonderful gems that we got away with. Nasir Akhtar Saab, Chairman, Infotech Group. Fahad Zahid, Interim Country Managing Director, SAP Pakistan and Bahrain. Mohammad Mohtasim Jangra Sahab, Director Business, MENA and USA, TMC Private Limited. And Ayub Zakori, Chief Executive Officer, Zakori Group. Lastly, but not in the least, our wonderful moderator, Mujib Zahoor, Managing Director, S&P Global Pakistan. And now for the group photo.